all seems good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 'tis I, multi-voice reviewer. I have many voices, but one opinion. And, according to my, Doctor Who watch, another sci-fi time. Now, I have a feeling I've done this before. Long time ago, because this is not just a review, folks. This is a theory. A crossover theory. And it's been so long since I ever done this. Now, what kind of a theory I'm doing? Oh, wait, hang on. Something's wrong with my sonic screwdriver again. What is it now? Not again. I thought it was over when I did that, those Star Wars Trilogy. Wait a minute, let me shut this off before I hurt someone or destroy something. Well, today's crossover theory, this is something I haven't done in a long time, and it was my very first crossover theory I done. And it's a theory of Star Trek meets Star Wars. Oh. Now, I remember I've done this crossover theory before, way back in December 11th, 2004, but I couldn't wait that long, so it's time for me to do this crossover theory. Well, much of my surprise, I already did my 50th anniversary by reviewing all the Star Trek movies, because I have none of the series on DVD. But I'll tell you one thing, the only series I would love to have is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, because I love Star Trek Deep Space Nine more than any Star Trek series, because, even though I was born in the 80s and I grew up watching Next Generation, but Deep Space Nine had more alien characters than the human characters. And now there are these new Star Trek series happening, like there is Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard, where it's supposed to pick up where Picard left off, where he has like some sort of granddaughter who is lost, so he has to go find her with the help of his old crew. And even there's an animated comedy called Star Trek Lower Deck, where it's focusing on the officers on the lower deck doing all the dirty work around the ship. And they were hoping that they can be up high with all the best officers in the higher deck. But believe it or not, I still have all three of the new Star Trek movies, from Star Trek to In the Darkness to Star Trek Beyond. And I like Star Trek Beyond. It was pretty awesome. And Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan, even though I like Rakato Motoband as Khan, I just say Benedict Cumberbatch did a really good job. And Spock did a good job yelling Khan, but I still like William Shatner's Khan! Khan! And of course, thanks to my mom, she bought me all three of the Star Wars movies, and I already reviewed all of them, of course. And for those of you who haven't seen my Star Wars review, I'll put a link. Huh. That's weird. Actually, this is really weird. I have all three of the new Star Trek movies and all three of the Star Wars Classic. I have the first movie on DVD while the other two are on Blu-ray. That's really odd. That is very odd. Well, without further ado, let's get to the story, shall we? With Star Trek meets Star Wars. Not versus, meets. Because I am sick and tired of those crossover battles, and I just like characters, instead of fighting against one another, they both shared a common enemy, they should work together. So therefore, I like to start out where there's the certain enemy, the certain alien who be good enough to join the dark side, and it all starts where Captain James D. Kirk. I know, I only do William Shatner because I can't do Chris Pine. Captain James D. Kirk, commanding. Star date 765-898-769, site 7-4. I left my toupee in my office and I can't leave my room. No, wait, let me check. My toupee is still here. Never mind. Now let's. Well, good thing I'm not going after the Klingons. I'm going after those horrible, evil Romulans. Now, for those of you who don't know what Romulans are, well, you know that Spock is a Vulcan, right? And according to Star Trek histories, these are what the Romulans look like. They look just like Vulcans, except they have those long bumps on their forehead. And according to their history, Romulans are like distant cousins to the Vulcans. And the difference between the Vulcans and the Vulcans are peaceful aliens who relies on logic. And they don't have emotions because they think that emotion is illogical. Fascinating. I've always been so fascinated with Vulcans because I've always been kind of interested about how the Vulcans are and the way they live and how they rely on logic. And of course, I mean, they do say they don't have emotions, but deep inside they do feel love. It's just they think it's illogical to show emotions in front of people. And Spock, he is part human, part Vulcan, so he's not exactly a full-blooded Vulcan. His father was a Vulcan and his mother was human. And since his father was a Vulcan ambassador, he thought to make the peace between the Vulcans and the humans. That's why he took a human to be his wife and have an offspring, which is Spock. That's pretty much his origin. Anyway, the Romulans, you see, in the planet Vulcan, there were like a huge civil war going on with the Vulcans and the Romulans. Well, before they were called Romulans, they were just Vulcan against Vulcan. And there are some Vulcans who decided to be more logical and be more smarter and not go to violence anymore. So that's why they prefer to rely on logic and stop having emotions. I mean, just take off the emotions in their bodies, have no emotion whatsoever. But the other Vulcans, they prefer to have emotions, but they don't want to rely on logic at all. So sadly, some of the Vulcans who don't want to go to the Vulcan way, they decided to leave their planet and they go into the fast star system into another planet called Romulus, where now the Vulcans who live in that planet are now called Romulans. They have emotions, and they only rely on certain logic on the battlefield, but they're very conniving and devious. So they're pretty much tricksters. While the Vulcans, they still rely on the logic, and they were the first alien species where they made first contact with Sethran Cochrane on Earth in the year 2063. I still remember that year. And even I always do this. Live long and prosper. Well, anyway, back to the story. Spock, Captain Kirk, Dr. McCoy, and the rest of the crew were chasing after this Romulan fugitive who is wanted by the Federation. And then all of a sudden, the Romulan ship was trying to escape from Starfleet. And then all of a sudden, they found a wormhole. So instead of questioning about what on the other side of that wormhole, the Romulans just went through the wormhole, and therefore they went into another dimension, into a galaxy far, far away. And then all of a sudden, the Romulan commander, which I would call him, well, since this is a made-up character, I would call him Commander Quintac. Quintac. Commander Quintac, he starts having these feelings, something that he never felt before. He starts sensing the Force. And something tells him that he needs to go to the Empire to find someone who would teach him the ways of the dark side of the Force. So therefore, Commander Quintac met me. So, my Romulan commander, you want to learn the way of the Force. It's what guides you and protects you, and you must use your hatred in order for your Force to get strong. I may have one apprentice, but I am willing to have another. So therefore, since Commander Quintax is your name, I would call you Darth Quintax. So pretty much Darth Sidious starts teaching him the ways of the Force. And after Quintax finally studying the ways of the Force and have his own lightsaber, he did become Darth Quintax with his red lightsaber and all. And of course, he kneeled in front of Darth Sidious. Now, at the same time, the Federation, they were trying to get the Romulans, but they discovered that they're still alive on the other side of that wormhole. And even though McCoy going like, "Damn it, Jim! It's not a good idea to go through that wormhole. I'm a doctor, not an explorer." "Come on, Bones, we've been through wormholes before. Spock, what do you think?" But Spock, he has a certain feeling that he should go through that wormhole. So he said, "Commander, I think it's a good idea that we should go through that wormhole, because I have this feeling that we should go through that wormhole, because it is logical." "Okay. Commander Sulu? Hello? 1.5 Infos power. Okay. Oh my." That's my George Takei impression. "Now, Scotty, make sure we have enough power to go through." "I tried to do that, Captain. I'm getting all shit caught." Yeah, that's my Scotty impression. "But if I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow, Captain. I give it all shit got." Anyway, they finally went through the wormhole, and then all of a sudden Spock starts having the same feeling, just like Commander Quintac. So now Spock all of a sudden starts having the Force himself and start levitating things. "Spock, can you tell me what's going on with you, man?" "I have no idea, Captain, but this is fascinating. I can have ability to move things with my mind. Telekinesis. At first I thought it was illogical for people to have that ability, but I'm starting to have it." "Well, damn it, Spock. You start having all these wonderful things, and I'm just a human with nothing to do." "Doctor, will you please quit whining?" "My thoughts exactly." Anyway, they went through the wormhole, and now Spock started having the Force, and then he has a feeling that he should go to a planet called Dagobah. "Last time I was in a Dagobah, I was having the bill with the Little Leagues." "Alright, get out of here, Ronnie Dangerfield." "Even in space I get no respect at all." I'm sorry, I just can't resist doing Rodney Dangerfield. Anyway, Spock says he needs to go to a place called Dagobah. And as they landed in that swampy planet of Dagobah, Spock met him. "'Tis Iota. And who are you?" My name is Commander Spock. I sense that you're supposed to help me with this ability that I have.
Ah, yes. The Force I sense in you, Spock. You, might, you, worthy of a Jedi you are. I will teach you the ways of the Force.
So when Spock was going through his training by Yoda by becoming a Jedi, well, the training went well, and therefore Spock become a Jedi. Yeah, I got it's one of the fan pictures. I just couldn't resist printing this one out. Anyway, Spock has finally gone through his training, and Yoda said,
I sense you're going after another alien similar to you, but in a different planet, yes?
"Of course, Master Yoda. You see, I was after this evil Romulan who goes by the name of Quintax, and I sense he might be here, but met someone else, and I sense that he has the dark side."
I sense Emperor Palpatine has a new apprentice. I guess Darth Vader wasn't good enough. You must go. Battle against Quintac, you must. So the Sith won't be as powerful as I hope that the Empire wouldn't be as strong as I ever imagined.
So Spock, with his trusty lightsaber that he got, he bowed to Yoda and took off into the planet. Well, I can't figure out a certain planet where the Empire is at, so well, let's just say that Spock, with the Force within him, he sensed where Quintax is at. And as Quintax left the Emperor's palace, he sensed that Spock is nearby. And of course, as usual, rest of the Spock and the rest of the Starfleet, they landed into that planet, and as usual, Spock is flirting with some female alien, going like, "Hi there, my name is Captain James T. Kirk. I'm the captain of the Starship Enterprise, and I gotta say, you are absolutely cute." Bones going like,
Damn it, Jim, enough with the flirtiness. I mean, seriously, it's starting to pee me off.
"Oh, will you stop, Bones?" Because that's one thing I always knew about Captain Kirk. He always flirt with any woman or any alien. I mean, he always flirt with every female officer and female aliens he meets. Which I don't blame him. I mean, heck, call me Captain Kirk, but sometimes when there's a female alien girl around, I just can't help but flirt. Even though I'm in a relationship with a Filipino girl, which I do love, I just hope I would stop flirting. Anyway, back to the story. Darth Quintax sent Spock nearby, so he sent some of his Romulan troops to find the Starfleet and destroy them. And when Captain Kirk saw the Romulans showed up, he told his troops to get their laser ready. And of course, as usual, a Romulan shoot a red shirt officer. That's one thing about every Star Trek episode. On every Star Trek episode, there's always a red shirt character who always gets killed. But every time when a character gets killed in one episode, there's always another red shirt taking his place. That's how the Star Trek series goes. Anyway, Kirk says, "Open fire! Shoot to kill!" So they all shoot their lasers, killing the Romulans and such, while Spock, using his force, he used the force to block the lasers with his lightsaber and dodge them until he finally got to Commander Quintax. And Quintax, he got his lightsaber. Still wish mine is purple. Anyway, there's a lightsaber going on between Commander Quintax and Spock, going all. and also using the Force. Now, Captain Kirk and his crew pretty much killed most of the Romulans, since there are none of them left. And as for Spock, the Force was with him. So Spock used the Force to get one of the statues. It was right behind, and he used the Force to knock the statue down to distract him until Spock finally struck the final blow. And the Romulan Quintax got cut in half and died. But after the battle was over, a bunch of the Empire stormtrooper shows up, going like, "Hold it! There's some disturbance. Come on, man, let's go." And of course, there's too many of them for Kirk and his crew to deal with. So, officers, let's get officers. Time to get back to the ship. We can't destroy all of them. Scotty, beam us up. Okay, Captain. So they all got beamed back to their Starfleet. I mean, back in their ship. And of course, Kirk is going like, "Now, Sulu, 1.5 impulse power. Back to Dagobah." Okay. And then they finally went back to Dagobah. And Spock walked up to Yoda, and he said to him, "Master Yoda, I finally did. I finally defeated Commander Quintax."
Indeed you have. But Darth Sidious, his master, always will find another apprentice. There is one named Darth Vader. Too powerful he is. He's too strong for you to battle. I think you're just here to do your deed, and now it's over. So what are you gonna do now, Spock?
So Spock looked at his lightsaber and decided to give it back to Yoda and said, "I have did my part. It is logical for me to do my mission. But after that, it's time to go home."
You must go, you must. You must go, you will. May the Force be with you, Spock.
Spock doing this. "Live long and prosper, Yoda." And Yoda did that too, even though he has 3 fingers, so it's easy for him to do it. So anyway, Spock, Captain Kirk, Bones, and the rest of the crew beam up back to their ship and finally went right through the wormhole, and the Force disappeared on Spock. Fascinating. What? Your magic is gone? It is illogical to call it magic. Magic doesn't exist. But this what I have here, called the Force, it only exists in that universe, but not in ours. Oh, so you can't bring that to you. I mean, you can't bring the Force with you, Spock. Only if I stayed in their universe. I will miss this universe. Well, we need to get back to Starfleet and report about what happened. They may not believe about the Force, but I'm sure we can make something up. Correction, Captain. Let's go home. Okay, check off. 1.5 impulse power, engage. Of course, Captain. And they finally went back home. And as for Darth Sidious, too bad Darth Quintax failed me. He would have been a brilliant and a valuable apprentice I ever had. But now let's get the technology from the Romulan ship. It might give us better use for the Empire. So, let's take the technology from the Romulan ship and use it for our advantage. And that was the end of Star Trek meets Star Wars. And that's the end of my crossover theory. So, I don't know about you, but I had a hard time trying to remember memorize everything, but feels good to do some more explaining throughout the whole franchise. So, for those of you who likes this review so far, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more. And as for me, it's back to basics. Now let's see if I can bring this back to my Sonics. Oh, wait a minute, it's starting now. Here we go. Oh, it's back, baby. Well, and there is one certain crossover. There was one certain crossover with two of my favorite sci-fi franchise that they did a comic book of, and I still wish I would have it. I would love to have those two graphic novels of Star Trek The Next Generation and Doctor Who Assimilate 2. Because this is my favorite sci-fi franchise crossover I would love to have in my collection. And if I ever have these graphic novels, I would definitely do a review of them. It's been so long since I ever did a comic book review. But this is more like my treasure I would love to have in my collection. And probably do a review of it. It's where my favorite Doctor from Doctor Who, Matt Smith, crossover with my second favorite Star Trek franchise, Next Generation, where Captain Jean-Luc Picard teams up with the Doctor. Doctor Who. Just a Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. Although I kind of wish that it should have been David Tennant instead of Matt Smith. But I am dying to have these. Every time I go to a comic book, they don't have it. So I'm hoping I could find it online, but I don't have an account for me to order it. Well, only time will tell until I finally have the darn thing. So for those of you who likes this review, please leave a comment down below and hit like and subscribe. As for me, back to basics. So this is Michael A. Grimm, aka Multi-Voice Reviewer, telling you all, thank you for watching.